Everybody, this is Tom from Talent Guitar Works. We're a repair facility in Southwest Florida, and this is the post Milton video that we're doing. Now it's Wednesday or Friday morning, and we got power back again last night at 10 p.m. So we were without power for 24 hours. I did leave here. Me and my girlfriend and the cat, we split. We went over to Pompano Beach, Florida, found a motel room over there, and stayed the night. And that was because at 11 o'clock at night, on Tuesday night, I got a text from the emergency management services that said we would have a 12-foot storm surge. And here's the part that I'm questioning: above dry ground in our area, and I'm in zone C, which isn't even a flood zone, and they were like, you have to evacuate. So to err on the side of logic, we evacuated, and we came back, and as it turns out, we had less storm surge here than we did during Helene. Now, here's the problem I have with this. We have people that are panicky and a little bit fear-mongering, and even though you're trying to tell people to be prepared and to take preventative actions of being caught in a hazardous situation, you have to weigh that with reason and who else you're putting at risk. This is a very older community here. I could see, people in their 70s plus trying to beat feet at 11 o'clock on Tuesday night because they were told they were going to be flooded and drowned. And I don't know if anybody got injured trying to do that. We left the following morning because the storm still wasn't predicted to hit by NOAA's website until Wednesday at 8 p.m. at the earliest. So we split. We came back. There was no damage, nothing. There was no flooding. The tidal surge for Helene, which was a tropical storm for us, was worse than Milton was. Now, before somebody starts throwing darts, there were places in Milton's path that were extremely destructive. This wasn't one of them. And when I say this, I'm saying we're on the upper reaches of the Miaka River in Charlotte Harbor, and we were predicted from Boca Grande to be 15 feet underwater to the entire Cape Hayes Peninsula that has an average ground elevation above mean sea level of 17 feet. All this was going to be covered by water, supposedly. So I looked up the formula for that. I'll run some numbers later on how they determine storm surge. But on this one, they lost it on this one. Now, we did pass two tornadoes that we could see right off the road in Alligator Alley on 75 as we headed toward Miami. And ironically, I saw people slowing down to videotape these tornadoes that were like 500 yards off the interstate. And I was like, these are the same people that get killed taking selfies with buffaloes in Yellowstone National Park. I said, it's just incredible stuff. So no damage to the shop whatsoever. I am using the Aerocaster out here, so hopefully this is going to solve those volume problems, and I'm setting up the bench today. I am going to slow down on the internal construction of the shop right now, and that's in paying a bit of gratitude and respect. If we have no damage, there are other people that are trying to get into Home Depot to get things that they need. I'm not going to be in their way. I'm going to let them get what they need and, to fix what happened with the storm. And to clarify that, we have Minnesota Key here in Charlotte County and Englewood, and we have Charlotte Harbor. And there are a lot of people that live in flood zones, Zone A and Zone AB and Zone B, that have damage and need to get in there and get supplies to get out. I don't need to be in there designing how I'm going to put stuff up in my shop while they're trying to get their emergency supplies. So this is something that I'm going to heed. So I'm going to take about a week and just, do a little bit of work around here that can be done without having to go to the local Home Depot. And, that's about it. I do have 3 small little soffit panels that came off my pump house where our well is, and I have all 3 panels, and I can put those back up. That's not a big deal. I did have one drill press bench precision bench for sliding work across a drill press. It wasn't really great. I wasn't really a big fan of it. And somehow during the storm, it fell off the shelf in the shop where it was at, and it broke into a couple pieces on the floor. I'm not even going to replace that thing. I'm just going to it was, I want to say $69 or something. And it wasn't all that I thought it was going to be. Excuse me. So that's where we're at on that. Now, I do have some customers' guitars that are due out on the 15th, and I put the 15th on it. They put the 20th on it. I'm waiting parts to come in for 2 of the 3 guitars. One of the guitars is done, ready to go. But again, I started this business up just working with musicians that played out for money, and was giving them a really quick turnaround on it. And people say, well, you should charge more for that. And I don't. I know that there are people that say, hey, if I get you your stuff back fast, I'm an express service, I'm going to charge you more. I'm like, why not just do the work as soon as it comes in and get it done as efficiently as possible and get it back to them as soon as possible? I've been doing that for years now, and it seems to work. The only thing that ever ties me up is waiting on parts. And with the hurricane, I can expect to wait on parts probably a few more days than normal. Our prices haven't changed throughout this current economic downturn. The work I do here is still probably the cheapest you're going to find in the area. And, my labor rate is $60 an hour, and people are going to gasp, and they're going to say, oh my God. But when you say, well, what do you charge for a fret level and dress? Well, I've done so many of them. I could do a fret level and dress with a fall away on most guitars in about an hour and 45 to 2 hours. So you're talking $120, a little bit for materials. I'm still getting you out the door for under $140 with tax for a fret level and dress in most cases. Now, that's saying that you don't have divots the size of the bunkers at the local golf course on those frets. That's saying you've got normal fretware where you've got some small divots that can be, sanded out relatively easily. But that's it. I saw where Sweetwater now is charging $650 for a refret on a neck. And if you're refretting a Fender neck, bolt-on neck for that price, you could buy a brand new neck from Fender for less than that. I'm just saying. If you take that neck off and put it on the side and go, yeah, this is the original neck, you're probably doing yourself a better service than paying somebody $650 to refret a bolt-on neck. Me personally, again, it's an hourly thing. A refret for me is about $300. Now, a stainless refret is going to take more because it's harder on the equipment. It's harder on me. It takes a little bit more time. That stainless steel wire doesn't really want to cut. And there are only a few people I know that really demand stainless. They're guys that are really rough, and they're rough on fretboards too. So I might have to re-radius part of their fretboard or fill in potholes on that fretboard at the same time. In one case, I had to put a brand new fretboard on a guitar because the wear through was just incredible. It was an older rosewood guitar, and they were divots. They weren't going to get filled very easily. So this is Tom at Talon Guitar Works. We didn't get any damage. We are open. We're still a little bit limited. I'm waiting for my 3 final inspections that got postponed so we could pull the permits for the next inspections, which are going to be electrical. And we're excited to get on that track. But like I said, I'm going to give people about a week to get all their hurricane stuff out of Home Depot that's right down the road before I go in there and add to the fray. So remember, only half my ideas are any good. You have to decide which half. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.